How to choose a safe country in case of nuclear war. A nuclear war is one of the most terrible scenarios we can imagine. With around 13,000 nuclear weapons in the world, we know that the consequences would be catastrophic. But if you want to prepare for the worst, you might ask yourself which countries would be most likely to survive a nuclear war. A study, published in the journal Risk Analysis, showed that some islands could maintain food production for their inhabitants after a sudden sun-dimming catastrophe, such as a nuclear war, a supervolcano, or an asteroid impact. The fear of nuclear war. The 2022 Russo-Ukrainian War and the geopolitical tensions that followed have heightened fears of nuclear war and what it would mean for humanity and the planet. Devastating effects. A nuclear war would have devastating effects, from immediate deaths from nuclear explosions to lasting damage from radiation. Widespread technological collapse. There would also be a collapse of technology even in the places that seem most likely to survive. This would make cooperation, coordination, and food production very difficult. About 63% of the world's population would die of hunger. According to a study by Rutgers University, more than 5 billion people, about 63% of the current world population, would die of hunger after a large-scale nuclear war. A 97% reduction in food production. A nuclear war would also cause a 97% reduction in food production in China, France, Russia, the UK, and the US. There would be survivors even in the most serious scenario. However, it is likely that there were survivors all over the world, even in the most severe and hostile settings. Where are the best chances of survival? Of course, those living in the most resilient nations would have the best chance of avoiding total collapse. Can you guess which countries these are? The study compared 38 islands. The study published in the journal Risk Analysis compared 38 islands on 13 factors that they said could indicate success as a post-apocalyptic survival state. Important factors. Factors included food production, energy independence, industry, and the disaster's effect on climate, among other aspects. Insurance for a sudden sun-darkening catastrophe. According to the study, small islands are capable of producing enough food for their populations after a sudden sun-darkening catastrophe, such as a nuclear war, a supervolcano, or an asteroid impact. Indonesia, Philippines, and Mauritius. At the bottom of the list of the best countries to survive a nuclear war are the islands of the Philippines, Mauritius, and Indonesia. According to the study, these islands would be capable of producing enough food after a nuclear war. Several archipelagos probably have some islands that are individually self-sufficient. Additionally, there is potential for regional trade between Indonesia and the Philippines. Social instability puts resilience in doubt. However, the history of corruption and social instability on these islands may call their resilience into doubt, according to the study. Solomon Islands and Vanuatu. In Oceania, the inhabitants of small islands like the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu would certainly survive. This is mainly due to its tropical geography and abundant food production in normal times. However, both countries do not have a high-tech production and knowledge economy, which would make their recovery difficult. However, there is the possibility of them participating in trade with other neighboring nations that have survived. Iceland. Iceland, the only nation in the northern hemisphere covered in the study, also stands out as one of the safest nuclear war areas, mainly due to its geographic isolation. Despite this, due to its modest local economy, Iceland is likely to face shortages of imported products and deteriorating infrastructure. However, Iceland can potentially establish connections with North America and Europe as long as some countries on those continents are not completely devastated by war, famine, or social collapse. New Zealand. New Zealand ranks second due to its distance from nuclear targets and its long-standing status as a nuclear weapon-free nation. The country's resilience in the face of an abrupt drop in global temperature caused by a prolonged period of darkness is also an important factor. Furthermore, all regions of New Zealand are relatively close to the ocean, which protects the country from extreme temperature variations. New Zealand also has an efficient food export economy, capable of supporting its population several times over with exports alone. Even in a scenario of a 61% reduction in agricultural production during a prolonged nuclear winter, New Zealanders would still have enough food, as indicated by the study. Australia. Due to its rugged geography and history of survival, Australia is often considered capable of withstanding any adversity. It seems that there is a grain of truth in this myth, even if it has no factual basis. Yes, Australia tops the list as one of the best countries to survive a nuclear war. With strong agriculture, the study concluded that Australia's food reserves are enormous, with the capacity to feed many millions of additional people. Furthermore, its quality infrastructure, considerable energy surplus, high public health standards, and robust defense budget contributed to placing it at the top of the list. However, according to the study, Australia also faces a significant risk factor. Its close military collaboration with the UK and US increases the likelihood of being targeted in a nuclear conflict involving Russia.
Are you enjoying our channel? Give your opinion below. Subscribe to strengthen the channel, and so we can go further with our messages of faith for the future of our planet Earth and a better world. Without wars, without conflicts, and with respect for others.